Lanshaw for Christ, and this is day 7 of 21 days of prayer and fasting. If this is your first time with us, this is a video series that I'm doing to follow along with an initiative put out by Bellevue Baptist Church in Memphis. Pastor Steve Gaines asked us to consider spending 21 days in prayer and fasting for the upcoming elections, and this is day 7. And the prayer guides you can see on the screen is at www.bellevue.org/prayer. So you can go visit that. It's also going to be in the comment or the description of the video. You can see that. So each day, the template is that we're given a suggested theme to pray for and a Bible scripture to go with that. So here in day 7. Day 7 is pray for another great awakening to sweep the nation. How great would that be if we could, as Christians, could initiate a great awakening throughout this country and just turn this country back to God? But where does that start? Where does a great awakening start? You can't start it in the nation. You can't start it in the church. It has to start in the believer, in your heart. It has to start here first. So hopefully in these days of prayer and focus, drawing closer to God, that awakening will begin with us, and then will be that visible force that God uses to drive a greater awakening throughout our church, throughout our local communities, then our state, then our country. And that's really how that works. It works from the heart out if we're going to have another great awakening in this country. So when we look at how do we do that, and prayer and fasting is the tools, right? So when you're fasting, you're giving up something that's very important to you, that consumes a lot of your time possibly. So food is often an easy one that we think about when it comes to fasting, but there are other things. And I didn't choose food for my fast. I actually chose to give up a video game that was consuming a lot of my time. So at lunch when I'd play the game or in the evenings, I'm trying to substitute that time with prayer and Bible reading and just drawing closer to God. So I'd encourage you to find that thing that you could give up, and if it hurts, if it's something you're tugging with God on, I don't really want to give this up, I enjoy it, maybe that's the thing that you should give up to help you draw closer to God. So the Bible verse for today, again, the theme is pray for another great awakening to sweep the nation, and the Bible verse is Ezekiel 37:1-3. I'm going to read that to us. I'm reading out of the NIV, which is probably a different version than what is on the screen. But this, the title of this section is The Valley of Dry Bones. And it says, "The hand of the Lord was on me, and he brought me out by Spirit of the Lord, and set me in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. He led me back and forth among them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley, bones that were dry. He asked me, 'Son of man, can these bones live?'" Well, what if God asks us a question directly like that, and you're in that valley? "Son of man, can these bones live?" What would you say? And the prophet said, "I said, Sovereign Lord, you alone know." Right? How great a response is that? Is we don't know, right? We can't have God's mind. We can read his word, and we can draw closer, and we can seek his will, but we can't ever know what God knows. He knows so much more because he knows what was and is and will be, right? It's just a great answer. You alone know. Then he said to me, "Prophesy to these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to the bones. I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life. I will attach tendons to you and make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. Then you know that I am the Lord." So I went a little bit further than verse 3, but as you know, if you've read these verses before, those bones do come to life, right? God was able to do that, and they looked like a great army when they were standing and had come back to being. So through God, anything is possible. Through God, he can make a difference, and we can make a difference in this election. If we only seek God and humbly seek God and seek him to give us guidance and wisdom on how we should vote, and if we use this book, as our as our moral compass, right? It's not the morals that mom and dad gave us. It's not the morals that society gives us. It's the morals as Christians that come from this book, and let that drive us in our decisions. Let that drive us to even want to go vote. So many of us don't like either candidate, so we just say, I'm not going to vote at all. My vote doesn't make a difference. But it does, right? It's part of participation, It's part of something that I think God would want us to do, is to participate, because if we want to change the laws of this country, we have to be a part of the process. If we're against abortion, if we're against the changes that are coming to what is a marriage, if you're against these things or for these things, the only way you can really participate to make sure they happen is get out and vote and put candidates in that support what you believe. And hopefully, what we're driving as Christians is the things that this book says, and this is what we believe. So I hope you enjoyed day 7. Look forward to seeing you back on day 8. Would love to hear some comments and feedback on the video series. And I just thank you for listening.